Good morning, everyone. My name is Tim Wilmot from Wizard Systems. Thanks for joining me today for this presentation to show you the capabilities of Workbooks CRM, what areas of your business it can address, and how my company, Wizard Systems, can help you with your CRM project. Now, we run these short presentations every Friday, focusing on different aspects of Workbooks, and today we're going to look more closely at leads. How do you manage your sales inquiries when they come into your organization and push them through to their ultimate conclusion? Now, this presentation will be about half an hour or so in duration. It's just a basic session. Everyone uses CRM in different ways. Everyone's got different requirements. And I wouldn't have enough time on this call this morning to go over all of the extensive capabilities. So after this session, if you want to explore Workbooks in more detail, if we haven't done so already, we'd love to organize more of a one-to-one session with you to discuss your specific needs. Now, also on the call today, and we've got 16 people on the call this morning. I can see that some people are very familiar with Workbooks. They're trialing the system, so they'll be familiar with the interface. So excuse me if I'm mentioning things you know already. I need to go at the speed of the slowest, so to speak. Now, the audio part of this presentation is one way only, as you would have been informed when you joined. Your microphone is on mute. Don't worry about any background noises your end. If you've got any questions, as you think of them, please type those into the questions section on your meeting control panel, and I'll do my best to answer those at the end. Now, this session is being recorded. Afterwards, you'll get an email, probably in a day or so's time now, with a link to the recording so you can play that back at your leisure, and also we'll most likely pop it up on our YouTube channel as well. Okay, so let's get started. Just a brief mention about my company, Wizard Systems. All we do is CRM. We've done this a long time. We have implemented well over 3,000 installations all over the UK and further afield, mainly into small and medium-sized companies. So that's our focus. We've put in systems into sole traders right up to some systems of many hundreds of users with many millions of records. These systems, Workbooks, is very scalable, and across different market sectors as well: B2B, private sector, public sector, non-profit. Workbooks is a very flexible tool. It can address almost any type of organization. Now, Workbooks is a cloud system. There's nothing to install. You can be up running very, very quickly. And we have customers that do their own thing with Workbooks. They set it up themselves. They teach themselves how to use it. It's not difficult, and there's loads of resources out there to assist you in that if that's the way you want to do it. But we're here on hand because, as I said, CRM is the only thing we do. We're here on hand to assist you in any step of the way, implementation, migrating data from other systems into this, customizing Workbooks to your requirements, integrating it with other applications, training you. That's very important. We want to make sure everyone's confident on using the new system going forwards, and the system and the training is adjusted to their job role. Everyone's got a different job role in a company. Workbooks will be different things to different people in that company, and our training will be customized to that purpose. So we can train you at your place. You can come to us. We can do online, and finally, all the ongoing support. We've got a friendly help desk services to answer all of your calls. So in working with you, what we want to try and establish is what are you wanting to achieve with Workbooks? What's the ROI? How are you going to measure how successful that Workbooks is? What are the issues you're looking to solve? What are the objectives you're looking to achieve there? Is it the sales process you want to focus on? Are you replacing an aging legacy older CRM system? Are you wanting to improve the quote process, your marketing, your customer service? Workbooks can be all of those things for you, and that's really what we want to try and get at, is asking lots of questions about what you're wanting to achieve, and that's our focus when you're working with us on any services training. That'll be our focus. So what is Workbooks in a nutshell? It's one central, easy to use, affordable solution for you to manage all of your business contacts and share that information with your colleagues. Record lots of information about these people and track your interactions with those people, thereby improving your efficiency and your productivity and your teamwork. There's some marketing tools in there to help you be more proactive in a targeted way. Unusually for a CRM system, now not many CRM systems can do this, but we can do sales quotations, and there's an option for creating orders and invoices. Now there's two different editions of workbooks that you can sign up for. There's CRM edition and there's business edition. CRM edition does all the normal CRM things that you'd expect and will allow you to do sales quotes. Then thinking about a business process, when the customer wants to order something, what happens to the quote? Well, we want to convert it into an order. We want to convert it into an invoice. We want to fulfill the product. We want to record some customer payments. Well, that's what the business edition is all about. So there's CRM edition and business edition. Business edition will do all of the stuff that CRM does, plus the ability to create orders, invoices, credit notes, purchase orders to suppliers. There's also an option for tracking customer contracts as well. More on the pricing later on. Now both editions can also do customer service. Do you have any customer service people in your organization that take calls, technicians, engineers, a help desk? They too could use workbooks. So we're achieving better teamwork across your sales, your marketing, and your customer service teams. And finally, it's a management tool. Everyone's using workbooks every day to manage controlling their working day. It's advising them of who to call and why to call them and so on, managing their tasks in one central place, but also it's a great management tool as well to help you, if there's any managers on the call today, any managers make decisions and control their department, control their business, giving them information about what's happening, what isn't working so well, what is working well, helps you make decisions. Now Workbooks is a UK system. All of the data is securely held in the UK, and quite frankly a level of security that most small and medium-sized businesses could not afford on their own. Very, very secure, very reliable as well. Last year we had an uptime of 100%. It's always going to be there whenever you want it, and on whatever device as well. So just focusing now quickly before we dive into the demo proper on the key aspects of a CRM solution. So at the heart of any proper CRM solution is managing your business contacts, the organizations and people you deal with every day. So there's a ready-made database in Workbooks. Now this database is very customizable. Shortly when I show you the system, the screens can be changed by you. You don't need to be a programmer. It's so easy for you to adjust these fields, the screens, the drop-down lists. You're in control. You do it yourself. We can provide you some training if you want to do some fancy things with it, but it's very easy for you to customize the system yourself. Also, you can deploy different security levels. Now this isn't often required, of course, with a CRM system. Our goal is to make it open to share information, but we do have some customers where they've got hungry sales teams and they want to make things private between these different teams, or ensure that people aren't deleting stuff or seeing stuff that they're not entitled. So you can deploy these different security levels. Now you're also managing all of your activities in Workbooks as well, your calls, your appointments. We have a very good integration with Outlook and Exchange. So if you're using one of those two applications, we can share the information in a bi-directional way. So that as you put an activity, say, into a calendar activity into Workbooks, and there's a diary, there's a graphical diary calendar in Workbooks, that will automatically go over to Outlook, and vice versa. Any new or changed records will synchronize. So you're building up a wonderful history as you're going through, as you're going forwards, a wonderful history of everything you've done with that client and everything your colleagues have done as well. We can integrate with any email system, including Outlook, whether you're using Gmail or Yahoo or Apple Mail, we can integrate with all of those. And mobile access is included, so managing your contacts when you're on the go. There's a mobile app. We're shortly going to be releasing a tablet app as well, giving you richer information on a larger screen size, of course. So whatever device you've got access to workbooks. Now, marketing is another key area that we want to use a CRM system for. I know many of you, I'm sure, are using email marketing, an email marketing platform right now to help promote your business. Well, you need to tie that in with your CRM system. It can't work on its own in isolation. It's got to be fed with, in a targeted way, fed with the appropriate people that you want to target. Now, before you do any targeting or marketing, you want to import data. You might have data in some other system. You want to easily upload the information to workbooks. That's so easy to do. And also you can export any information that you put into workbooks. You can export easily, provided you've got the security access to do that. Another way of getting leads, we're talking today about leads, another way of getting leads into the system is via your website. So we include a little bit of technology which we called Web 2 Lead, as in the number 2, Web 2 Lead. So you have a form on your website which workbooks can create for you, and as somebody fills in their details on your website, they hit the submit button, that automatically becomes a lead record in workbooks. So I'll come on to what a lead record looks like in the demo, but essentially it's a particular type of record in the system called a lead, and to distinguish it from other records in the system like proper customers and suppliers that you're working with. So nice website integration there. But with our marketing hat on, we've got easy ways of creating this. If the data is in workbooks, you can create a list on that information. You could create a list based on someone's job title, their location, what market sector they're in. Because we're tracking sales and products we've supplied, we could then, this is the holy grail of email marketing, trying to email people that you know have got a certain product, and you've recorded that in workbooks. So this is something that other systems can't do. Now we integrate in a two-way direction with many of the well-known email marketing platforms. MailChimp is probably the most popular one. So you create your list in workbooks, that list is uploaded to your MailChimp account. MailChimp will, of course, allow you to create a really nice looking email. It will deliver the email to those recipients that you define in workbooks, and then with the integration automatically back into workbooks, we can see against a customer's record what emails they were sent, what did they open, what did they click on, and observing bounce backs and unsubscribe information as well. We do actually focus on that on one of our other weekly presentations, so you'll catch one of the previous recordings up on YouTube, or stay tuned for one of our other weekly sessions. So managing the sales process, critical to most CRM systems. Managing a business process is not just about recording data. We're managing a process, a sales lead process, for example, which I'll go through shortly. But we can do quotes. As part of our sales process, we can do quotes. No requirement for additional software or bits of string, joining applications together. It's all included with workbooks. And you can create some really nice looking quotations and proposals to help customers make decisions on whatever product or service you're supplying. You can store your product or service data information in workbooks. You can import into the system as well new pricing, new price list, product updates very easily. You can define many different quote layouts. These quote layouts, they are saved in a PDF format. You can email the quote once you've created it. You can email the quote directly from workbooks with a few clicks of the mouse. Very easy, very quick, all logged in the workbook system. So you can see all of the quotes you've done and a very easy way of delivering those to your customer. And another key part of a CRM solution is managing an opportunity, if this is relevant to your company. So an opportunity is a record of some revenue, a future sale, a future project, whatever you call it right now, whether it's a job, a project, an opportunity, a sale, a pipeline record, whatever it might be. And you can actually, with Workbooks, you can customize the terminology. If you like to call your sales jobs, you can call it jobs. You don't need to stick with the standard word that opportunity, the standard word that Workbooks gives you, being opportunity. So the opportunity is like a separate screen, another dimension to Workbooks to track this job in more detail. Again, very, very customizable. Workbooks gives you the basic information, but it's designed to be customized by you. So with Workbooks, and say if you're using the business edition of Workbooks, we have a way in one solution of tracking a complete business process from the lead, qualification, negotiation, establishing an opportunity, quoting the prospect, getting the order, placing sales orders, confirming sales orders, fulfillment, invoice, and then the cycle continues, campaign to generate more business. But because you've got in Workbooks, you know what you've sold, you know what you haven't sold. This campaign activity can be very precise. So brief mention about customer service, all included. You can disable if it's not relevant, but an easy way of logging service issues. Again, all very customizable. Applying deadlines and tracking SLAs, service level agreements. Do you have to respond to client requests within 2 hours? That could be a rule that you stuff into Workbooks, and it can then 24/7. It can then be monitoring you and advising you on what's going on. And with different color codes on screens, you can put things in red if it breaches its SLA deadline. So nice visual indications that Workbooks can give you about the health of a record. Is it good or bad? And of course, we're tracking history of issues. We can build up a knowledge base as well. Lots of great things in there if you've got any customer service element to your organization. Right, last slide before we dive into the demo proper. And of course, with Workbooks, as you can see now, well, if we were recording all this information, we've got a great way of keeping a track of activity levels. So how many leads are coming in? What's happened to those leads? What's the status of them? Who's looking after them? What business did we get from those leads? Workbooks is going to give you answers to all these questions. And of course, a key part to it is managing your opportunities going forward, your sales pipeline. Now, there's a couple of tools in Workbooks to allow you to monitor and see at a glance what's going on, to summarize what's going on. There's a report writer in Workbooks. There's about 50 reports that are supplied with Workbooks to get you started. You can create your own as well. We've got nice color formatting in these reports also. These reports can appear in many places in the Workbook system, but a great tool to help you manage and make decisions, as indeed are complementary to reports, dashboards. So bar graphs, pie charts, summarizing key performance indicators in your system as regards leads coming in. Where did they come from? Of course, we want to know, where do our leads come from? You might be spending a lot of money on lead acquisition, going to exhibitions on your site, paying third parties to get leads for you, an outside telemarketing agency. It's vitally important that you track the source of those leads so that you know what is the ROI on that lead source. Workbooks can tell you if you use it properly. Right, let's go into Workbooks proper. So as I've said, two things what I'm going to take you through here is just an overview, a brief overview of the interface. What does it look like? What are the key parts of it? And then specifically leads. We'll just dive into a little bit more detail on leads. And then after that, if you'd like us to take you through the system in a lot more detail, we'd only be only too happy to do that for you. So let me just dive into Workbooks here. There we are. I'm using it in Chrome this morning. It will work with any browser. It'll work on your phone. It'll work on your tablet. And I've just logged in. And what you see, it should be recognizable to you, and apologies for those people that are already trialing the system. Of course, it looks like your Windows desktop with that start button down there in the bottom left-hand corner. So immediately it's got that familiar look and feel. It's not difficult to use. It's so easy. Everything's very intuitive, where it should be. There's, of course, that's your Google-like search box there. You can type in part of somebody's name or part of an activity. It's going to find it for you wherever it is in the system. But from that start button and the start menu here we've got all of the elements, the proper elements of a CRM, a proper CRM solution, with right at the top there, the people and organizations you deal with. Now you can relabel this terminology, but there we are, the companies you deal with and the people. Some of these people may work in those companies. And lower down we've got activities. What activities are you doing today? What emails have come over from some other system, or any emails that you've sent, your support cases, your sales. If you're a salesperson, sales manager, sales director, you'll be living in this section, and that's one place where we can see sales leads, opportunities, what opportunities on the go right now, show me my outstanding quotations, and so on. Sales forecasts, what's the sales team going to be bringing in? Best case scenario, worst case scenario. Workbooks will work all that out for you. Marketing. Again, there's sales leads there. It could be a marketing function to keep a track of sales leads. But if you're marketing, this is where you'll be living, managing marketing campaigns, managing information about your products, your marketing collateral, marketing information that you want to share with the team. If you're a finance person and you've got the business edition of Workbooks, then this is where you can see all of your transactions. So transactions in Workbooks, as you might guess, is just a word for any financial document, any financial transaction with that client, a quote, an order, an invoice, a purchase order, a credit note. They're all transactions, and there's the option for tracking customer contracts as well. Now, just to show you what happens if you click on any of those menu options, there is you get to a landing page. So if I click on organizations here, I get to the organizations landing page, a bit like an Excel spreadsheet, showing me in this part of the screen here, showing me row by row all of the organizations in my system, and you can decide what columns you see there in this summary view. And down the left hand side in this view section, we can actually create little groups of organizations that have something in common, and this is done via the filtering. This can be done via the filtering feature up here. You click on that button, it will then ask you, well, what are you looking for? And these are all the different fields in the system that you can drill down on, so you can actually build up very easily lists of people, or views as Workbooks calls it, of companies, organizations in this case, that have something in common. So if I want to suddenly see all my customers, there they all are there. If I want to see all of my suppliers, there they are there. It's very quick and easy to use. Now, if I dive into a company in a bit more detail here, so let's go into Atlantic Computer Services, and just very briefly before I go into leads, to show you the information that we can maintain about a particular type of record, in this case an organization. So up has popped another window with some tabs running across the top there. Do you see notes, activities, emails? But on the main tab, this is the key information about this organization. Now, this is just an example of Workbooks, what Workbooks can give you. If you started using Workbooks right now, this is what it's going to look like. But you can change any of this. These fields here, these fields, category, industry, and so on, you can remove those if you want to, or you can relabel them. You can create your own fields as well, and they may appear. You can decide where these new fields appear. They might be on this top part of the screen, or they might be in a different section lower down there. And you can search on these fields, you can do reports on these fields, you can do marketing on these fields. So when you set up a new CRM system, you think, well, what information do I want to know about these leads, these companies that I'm going to be using for some purpose, for some marketing purpose, to track some kind of process? And it is very easy to create these fields. You try to keep, but you've got to try and keep things simple. Don't go overboard with all of these fields. It is possible to put in tens of fields, hundreds of fields into workbooks, but the danger is you can make these CRM systems a bit too difficult to use. So very easy to create and customize that system. Then notes, that's basic notes about this company, and any files, any documents that relate to that company, a nice way of sharing that information. Activities, so these are phone calls that you've got to do, meetings that you've got to do, other tasks, all very customizable. But here, again, as a summary, row by row, we're seeing all of these activities, and we can dive into any of these activities and see it in a bit more detail as yet another pop-up window. Again, this activity screen is very customizable. That's just an example of what Workbooks gives you. So a nice way of staying on top of all of these activities. And things that are in red here, right at the top here, I've got a couple of red lines, and lower down there, a nice visual indication of some overdue activities as well. What emails have we had, have our colleagues have had with this company? What people do we know in this company? There they all are there, and you can create new ones here as well. What organizations is this company, does it relate to? What opportunities are on the go with this company? We can dive into these and see a bit more detail about that, that potential job or opportunity. Again, this screen is all very customizable. Transactions, as I said, those are the quotes, the orders, the invoices, what's their status, what's their value, and we can display all of that information on there. Cases, so these are support things. Tickets, call it what you want. So any support or service issue here or bit of advice you need to give, that's all there, and you can click on those and that will fire up another screen. Marketing campaigns, what marketing activities have been involved with this company? There they all are there, and we can drill down into that and see what their status is on that campaign. So a very easy way of tracking all the information about a company, all searchable, dead easy to use. Now, leads. So a lead is an inquiry to your company, a person or a company. It's just basic information about this potential customer. Maybe at the lead stage, it's information that is unqualified. You don't know whether this person is a good fit, or this company is a good fit for your company's products and services, and you haven't yet qualified this person. You've just got very basic information about this new inquiry, maybe just a person's name and their phone number, or their name and an email address. So we define that as a lead, and many proper CRM systems have this concept of a lead record. And then as you work with that lead, you start talking to them, you start emailing them, you start marketing to them, you're qualifying them. They might come back to you, you might phone them, and you have a chat, and you establish that this could be a potential client for my company. And in Workbooks, as per many other decent CRM systems, we convert the lead to an opportunity and a company record. In a way, we're sort of promoting it away from being just a basic lead record. We're promoting it, and thereby in that promotion we're able to store a lot more information about this person and this company and what they want from us. What are we going to supply to them, which is the opportunity. So where do we see leads in Workbooks? How do we get them in? Well, the standard place to see leads is in the leads landing page, and you can access that in a few ways. You could have a little shortcut on your desktop to quickly go to it, but There we are, there's sales leads there, and click into it. Up comes, as we saw before with the company landing page, here's the lead landing page. And I can see that I've got 4 leads on the go at the moment, and I've ranked these leads as well, hot, warm, cold. So I can dive into this lead here, Eleanor. Let's just click on her. And this is an example of a lead record. So again, if you started using Workbooks, this is what it gives you, but you can change all of this. You can make it simpler or add more information to this as you wish. But we've got the typical information that you'd expect from a lead record. Of course, the person's name. Notice there, the left-hand border of this field is dark blue, so it's a mandatory field. We support required fields in Workbooks. In business, it may be very important to gather some information at some stage of your dealings with a client or customer. So that's why we support those mandatory fields. But you can see here on this lead screen, on this lead form, the only 2 mandatory fields is what's the person's name and who in my business, this is assigned to, who in my business is looking after this new lead? Who's going to make sure, who's going to contact Eleanor and qualify her to see if she's a good fit going forwards? Well, you know, that's where you have a drop-down list there of all of your people, all of your colleagues, and also we can actually have teams of people. So maybe you've got a team of telemarketing people that could go into their queue. So it goes into like a group of people, if you like. But there's all the information about the lead, contact details, maybe a way of ranking them. You know, how decent is this lead based on, have you got their job title? Have you got an email address? Have you got a phone number? Have you qualified what they want? That could automatically define a lead score, which will help you. If you've got lots of leads, you want to rank these leads and make sure that you contact the best leads first, and then the lower quality leads are done when you've got time. So we can rate these leads. Of course, we want to know where they come from, critically important. So I've only got a drop-down list of 3 there, but if you imagine you've got a big long list of all the common sources of your business, from exhibitions, from other referrals. You know, do you get business from referrals? Other companies recommending your products and services? Well, you've got to track the referral source, because you may want to encourage future referrals. You know, and what's the proportion of the business that you get from these different sources? Because we can track sales in Workbooks, we're going to know the most profitable sources of our business. But that's where we would track the initial source there. And then thinking about the sales process. So we contact Eleanor. She's a good fit for our business and services. So we now would simply, when we want to track a bit more information about Eleanor, we want to convert her into a proper opportunity going forwards, we just save and convert her, and Workbooks will just guide me along the process now. A very simple screen here to confirm the information that I've gathered already. Here's the opportunity name. I could change that if I want to. So what's the unique name of this opportunity? What's her role? What's the status of that person? And so on. Then top left corner here, I just click next to advance to the next stage. And now we have created the opportunity. There we are, like we saw before with another opportunity. Here is an example of the opportunity, which we can call whatever we want to. So I could type in here this new opportunity name. And when is the close date? That's another mandatory field there, so we could pop in the close date there. Save and close, job done. That's been recorded. Eleanor's been converted. She's no longer a lead. She's a proper prospect and opportunity. So a quick way of seeing what a lead looks like, How do you get leads in? Well, there's so many places where you can actually create new leads there. It could be via your website. You could import leads as well from another database source. Lots of options there of getting those leads in. And then how do you monitor that lead situation? You've got lots of leads going on. How do you then monitor them? Well, there's reports in workbooks, and there's also dashboards. If I just display a typical leads dashboard. So I've actually created a few different types of dashboards in my system here today. So here's one called lead management. If I click on that, here's a few just a few options here on what you might want to see as regards your leads dashboard. So this top left corner here, we can see by salesperson all of the leads that they're looking after, what leads have they closed, contacted, and so on. You can use this scroll bar up and down, what they contacted, what they converted, no response, and remaining open leads, and so on. So a nice way of quickly seeing at a glance those leads. Now, top right corner, it's very important that if you're investing money on getting leads, that people are working on them. So this little dashboard here, this little panel, shows me all of the leads I haven't contacted. Now, how does Workbooks know about this? Well, by you updating the system very easily, it just takes a few seconds. When you've made a phone call, when you've sent out an email, it's going to update that record. So we can see here some kind of time frame of inactivity with these leads by salesperson. And then bottom left-hand corner, of course, the standard pie chart there, leads by source, might be over a particular time frame or back to the beginning of time, but we can immediately see where the most popular sources of our business to concentrate on. So that's a quick run through leads, what they look like, how you get them in, how you monitor them. What I'd like to do now is just go through as a wrap up here before we go into our question section, just a brief mention about pricing. Now, of course, once we know your exact requirements, we can confirm all these prices to you, but there is a subscription to Workbooks, an annual subscription. And here we've got the two editions, CRM edition and business edition. So CRM 228 per user per year plus VAT, business edition, because it does more, the orders, the invoices, the credit notes, does a little bit more there. That's 504 per user per year. There are some very popular options. Outlook, Exchange Integration, for example, are the most popular ones, and they're priced from £48 per user per year. And finally, be realistic. What help do you need in making sure you get this system up and running? Yes, of course, you could do it yourself, but maybe you're busy people. Maybe you want us to do it. We're doing this every week. We're implementing several systems every week. We've got specialists on hand to assist you to make sure your system is quickly up and running, on budget and on time, and providing all the training to make sure everyone is confident on knowing how to use the system. So once we know your requirements, we can give you a quotation to cover everything that you need going forwards. Okay, well, we're nearly at the end of our call this morning. Thanks very much for attending. Now, if you've got any questions, please pop those into the question section of your meeting control panel. And first question from Malcolm. We want to record leads at an exhibition. What's the best way? Well, of course, because this is a cloud solution, it's online, you could take a tablet, laptop to an exhibition. You could be recording leads there. If you, as you normally would get in an exhibition, you might get an Excel spreadsheet after the show, after the day from the organizations, after the exhibition of people that visited your stand or visited the show, and that could be imported into Workbooks very easily there. So that would be one way of doing that. So lots of options. A few questions coming from Dan. Okay, Dan, afterwards email me to let me know how to get the trial. Yes, we'll do, Dan. And interested to know about reporting in terms of sales funnel. Yes, there's loads of standard reports in workbooks to get you going. What criteria determines the RAG status of a lead or customer? Well, it could be several fields, Dan, in there. There's a little sort of background calculation that Workbooks can do, but we'll contact you later on, Dan, about your trial setup and that question there. Next question from Kimberly. If I have leads in Excel, how do I get them in? Now, I mentioned the import function in Workbooks. We import data into Workbooks in a CSV format, comma separated value. Quite a common format out there. So if you've got data in Excel, you just save the Excel spreadsheet as a CSV file, and then you can import it in. And you can import into any area of Workbooks I've shown you. Remember all those tabs that you saw? The main tab, activities, people, transactions, opportunities. If you've got data relating to that, might be a few steps to the import, but it's all very easily doable, and we can give you instruction on that if required, or do it for you if you don't want to do it, don't have the time. We can do these imports for you. But yeah, nice way of getting in Excel data there. Next question from Simon. Can we export all sales data, clients, to our company hard drive for purposes of backing up the system from the cloud? Yes, you can, Simon. There is a function in the admin section of Workbooks allowing you to export the whole database or part of the database. So yes, I can confirm you own the data. You can export in a few different formats everything you put in to something else. Next question from David. How easy can you track all events a contact attends, webinars, conferences? Well, that's the whole idea behind these marketing events. So in Workbooks, if I go back to Workbooks, and let's do a search for a company, Atlantic, for example, and here we are, Atlantic Computer Services. Well, they would be one way of tracking this, a standard way of tracking this is on this marketing campaigns tab. So this is where we can see all of the events that you might be doing. And in the marketing section of Workbooks, this is where you can track your events that you're running. So here's maybe a list of all the events that we're running and the number of people we've got coming there and what's the status of these different events. So we can click into this event and we can get more information on that event. We've got lots of people using Workbooks for tracking events, David. So a great way of tracking those conferences and things, webinars, seminars, whatever it might be. And we're also using, because Workbooks is online, we can leverage that and have, we can actually have a customer portal where people can actually log on to the event and register their attendance at an event. So we can actually create little attendee landing pages as well, all part of, you know, this was created using Workbooks in a way. This is on the Workbooks site. So you know, a nice way of seeing here when you're at a show, who have you got coming to that show? Who are the attendees coming along to your conference? Next, so thank you, Dan. Agree, we'll contact you later. Next question from David. Do you have integration with GoToWebinar? Auto update registrations or attendance at webinars? Right. No, there's no integration with GoToWebinar. I don't know of many or any CRM system that can integrate to GoToWebinar, but of course from GoToWebinar you can export your attendees from the system, all of the details that you've tracked in their registration. You can export that information into Excel, and then using the import feature, go back to Workbooks, close these windows down, Tim. Right, start, import here. So all of that campaign data, where are we? There we are. Do you see, David, we can actually import all that marketing information into the system. Maybe there's some new contacts in as well. Maybe the people who are attending are existing contacts. We're appending their attendance to their existing record. Next question from Simon. Does the system integrate with EchoSign? Yes, it does. There's a way of tracking and launching EchoSign information. We do actually cover that on another presentation, Simon, but yes, there is EchoSign integration that you could set up with Workbooks, and we can take you through that via a separate demonstration if you want us to, Simon. Right, so lots of really great questions there from the 5 or 6 of you that posted those questions. Thanks very much for those really interesting questions there. So it just remains for me to bring our session to the close now. So watch out for an email from us from the system with a little recording to what we've gone through today. But yes, of course, we'd love to organize more of a one-to-one session with you if you'd like to. And of course, there is the free trial, so you can put Workbooks to its paces, and we're here on hand to answer any questions you've got. But thanks very much for your attendance today. Thanks very much for your interest. I do appreciate that. Have a nice weekend, and we hopefully hear from you soon about your CRM project and discussing how we can assist you. Thanks very much indeed.